First, the highlights. Lagos State Government flags off Year 2025 Budget Consultative Forum, pledges commitment to participatory, inclusive governance. Federal government schedules emergency meeting ahead planned nationwide protests. On the foreign scene, authorities detain dozens of people in Uganda anti-government protests. And in sport, head coach of Nigeria's female basketball national team names the Tigress Olympics squad. Now the details. I am Dele Agadumo. The Lagos State Government has flagged off the Year 2025 Budget Consultative Forum with a promise to take into account the demands of the people. The forum, which took place at Eco Club in Surulere, had in attendance stakeholders within Lagos Division as well as government functionaries and is scheduled to hold in other divisions of the state. Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Okwe George, said the annual forum provides an opportunity to meet the people, hear from them and take into account what they like to see in their budgets. According to the Commissioner, Lagos in its 2024 budget had about 2.26 trillion naira with a capital of about 1.3 and recurrent as close to 500 plus billion naira, noting that the budget so far has performed well. George said the government is currently going through the media reviews, stating that by the end of this month, the process will be completed, thereby providing more details as to how far the budget has gone in the half year.
From these forums, we get to hear directly from the people, from civil society, from the others, from people living with disabilities, from the youths. And I think it flows into the fact that with our Themes Plus agenda, the plus meaning that no one is left behind, it's important that we hear from these groups and we then take it, go back to the office and factor in what they've said into our budgeting process. And you find in year out that when we come in, they ask us about projects they asked us the year before. We give an account of what we've done and we then hear from them what they want to see in the next project going forward. So it's a very, very impactful process.
The Bajilai of Lagos, Prince Ayodele Oyeko, who expressed confidence in the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration, asked the government to do more in terms of security, provision of roads, drinkable water, as well as education for all residents.
Sure, I have confidence in this government. It's going to be done. But we too, we need to pay our taxes. That is the most important thing. Then we can come out and face the government and challenge them that, look, what am I paying taxes for? You're asking me to pay taxes and I'm doing it. But nothing is being done on what we want. We need to cooperate with the government. Government is not a work of only the people that we elected. It's a work of every one of us.
On his part, Lagos State Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYCN, Jibril Olalikon, commended the state government for youth inclusion and engagement, while also urging Governor Sanwo-Olu to facilitate a dedicated desk for young people at the local government level for full participation of the youths. Our reporter, Adirayo Iduwolaya, reports that the forum had different syndicate sessions on each pillar of the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration, highlighting the various projects and interventions of the government. As repair works commence on the expansion joint on Odoyalaro Bridge in Ojota, the Lagos State government has urged Lagosians to take ownership of public infrastructure and desist from habits which place such infrastructure in jeopardy. Special Advisor, Office of Infrastructure, Ministry of Works, Olufemi Daramola, made the appeal when the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho, joined him during an inspection tour of ongoing repair works on the Odoyalaro Bridge. Daramola, who explained that the ongoing repair works demonstrate the government's commitment to safety of road users, urged stakeholders to support the contractors on site to ensure timely completion of the maintenance work.
It has no advantage when the government puts things in place and we remove it. Let's take ownership, let's report, let us all collectively ensure that our infrastructure lasts the test of time.
According to Daramola, the state government is not unmindful of the inconvenience been experienced by commuters, hence its appeal for patience and cooperation from the motoring public. On his part, Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, charged residents to be responsible in the usage of public infrastructure, while warning vandals to steer clear of public infrastructure or face the wrath of the law.
So I would like to appeal to all of us, to Lagosians, if you see something, say something. It's all about you. It is for you. It is for you to be able to be comfortable while driving. It's for you to be able to get to wherever you are going faster. And everybody who sees anybody who is trying to destroy government property here or wherever should talk.
The asphaltic work and the replacement of the joints on Odoyalaro Bridge in Ojota has been scheduled for completion in about 90 days, with the traffic diversion plans announced for the Ojota-bound lane and the Yaba-Ojuelegba Maryland-bound lane. Student leaders across tertiary institutions in Lagos State have urged students to shun the upcoming protest and join the Union for a Solidarity Walk in support of the state government in maintaining peace and tranquility. Chairman, National Association of Nigerian Students, Lagos Axis, Alimi Idris, who said this at the World Press Conference in Ikeja, stressed that the walk will start from the 1st to 10th of August. Idris noted that it is a democratic right to voice concerns, but stability, peace, and constructive dialogue is important in achieving collective goals. The Students' Union chairman, who stressed that the union understands the economic situation of the country, commended Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for his unwavering support towards achieving academic excellence in Lagos State.
We invite all students, youth organizations, and well-meaning citizens to join us on this work and show our appreciation to the government's efforts and our commitment to a brighter future for Lagos. Together, we can make the future. And Mr. Consumer will celebrate the Victoria Asata Musila.
On his part, President, National Association of Lagos State Students, Hafiz Olufowobi, who highlighted Governor Sanwo-Olu's commitment to students' welfareism, which includes increase in bursary allowance, introduction of students in decision-making board of the state, among others, affirmed that the union is not in support of the protests.
It is with this we, the Student Association, say no to the August protest. Thank you.
Also speaking, Chairperson, National Female Students Association of Nigeria, Lagos Chapter, Ekundayo Titilayo, called upon all females in different strata across the Federation to avoid the planned protest and support the state government through the Solidarity Walk.
We have state DSS that will be together with us, and we have 100% security guaranteed, so it cannot be hijacked.
That was the Chairperson, National Female Students Association of Nigeria, Lagos Chapter, Ekundayo Titilayo. Now to the rest of the stories. The federal government has scheduled an emergency meeting in response to a planned nationwide protest slated for August 1. This comes after President Bola Tinubu pleaded with the organizers to shelve the protest and give his administration more time to execute people-oriented programs. Permanent Secretary of the Cabinet Affairs Office, Richard Filangwa, in a circular said all the ministers, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and the Special Advisors to the President on Policy and Coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, and former Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dari, were among those invited for the meeting. The planned session is coming amid the clamor for nationwide protests from August 1 over the rising cost of living and the economic hardship in the country, which has been blamed on the removal of fuel subsidy, the floating of the naira, and other economic reforms implemented by the Tinubu administration. The House of Representatives has asked the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, and the distribution companies, DISCOs, to reverse the tariff hike for Band A customers immediately. This resolution is was reached after the adoption of a report presented by the House Committee on Power. Chairman of the committee, Victor Nwokolo, who presented the report, stated that Nigerians cannot afford the new tariff. The committee recommended a return to the status quo. The recommendations were adopted by the Committee of the Whole, after which it was passed, while further investigation into the tariff hike is to be conducted by the House. The NERC in April announced a hike affecting Band A customers who are to pay 225 naira per kilowatt. The federal government says it is set to localize the production of renewable technologies through partnership with a China-based engineering company. This formed the crux of discussions between Nigeria's special presidential envoy on climate action, Ajuri Ngelale, and the executive management of Sinoma International Engineering Company at its Beijing headquarters. Ngelale said the discussions harped on the importance of localized production to reduce reliance on imports and promote economic growth. He said the meeting covered various areas of mutual interest, including decarbonization of mining practices, ecological support, and restoration. Ngelale added that the talks will boost Nigeria's renewable energy sector, create jobs, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions, aligning with the country's climate action goals. Now to foreign news. Dozens of people have been detained in the Ugandan capital, Kampala, after joining scattered anti-corruption protests in defiance of an official ban. Lawyers said around 60 people, including a prominent TV presenter and 3 young protest leaders, were hurriedly brought before courts and remanded in custody following a march in the country's parliament on Tuesday. President Yoweri Museveni, who has ruled Uganda for almost 4 decades, had warned before the event that protesters were playing with fire. The march was organized on social media amid anger over long-running allegations of corruption involving several high-profile public officials. The protests were partly inspired by demonstrations last month in neighboring Kenya, which forced President William Ruto to drop planned tax rises. Now, sports head coach of Nigeria's female basketball national team, the Tigress Rina Wakama, has named the squad that will be defending the colors of the country at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, France. Leading the 12 players list is forward Amy Okonkwo, who has been an inspiration to the team after claiming most valuable player honors at the FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2023 and impressed in a big way at the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament 2024 in Antwerp. Will be spearheading the squad to the Olympics. The Tigress received a huge boost in the backcourt with the return of Ezinne Kalu, another class act who has already delivered at the biggest events, including Tokyo 2020 and the FIBA Basket World Cup 2018. The team arrived in Lille, France on Monday for the last test game ahead of the Paris Olympic Games, which began on Friday. The Tigress will take on Japan tonight in another friendly game in Lille, France. That is our news at 10. Just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration generated 12,350 jobs and empowered 17,469 direct and indirect beneficiaries through the Lagos State Agro-Processing Productivity Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support appeals? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has flagged off the year 2025 Budget Consultative Forum with a promise to take into account the demands of the people. The federal government has scheduled an emergency meeting in response to a planned nationwide protest slated for August 1. We also told you that dozens of people have been detained in the Ugandan capital, Kampala, after joining scattered anti-corruption protests in defiance of an official ban. And in sports, head coach of Nigeria's female basketball national team, the Tigers, Reina Wakama, has named the squad that will be defending the colors of the country at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, France. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Abiola Fagbolagun. I am Dele Agadumo. Good morning. Thank you for listening.